Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the River Trails Park District, the Aspen Trails Park Project. My name is Brett Fostrom. I'm the Executive Director of the River Trails Park District. Aspen Trails is the second amazing project of a community cooperation and vision. The village had a vision to improve the surrounding community with water retention, and the Park District had aging park and infrastructure. Together, the needs were great and collaborative solutions were at hand. We are grateful for the cooperative nature of the village. There are many people who made this project possible, and we need to thank the past and present village mayors, all the village trustees, Sean Dorsey and his incredible team, the River Trails Park District Board for being open to the concept of digging out their entire park, knowing that there was a vision that would benefit our community on several levels. The Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, as well as the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for their project support, legislative support from Senator Morrison, who is with us this afternoon, as well as Representative Carroll. The creativity of Christopher Burke Engineering, as well as JSD Architects, as well as the awesome RTPD Parks team who managed our part of the project day to day. We're extremely excited to have opened this park this spring in part, and then as summer came on, we were able to open the entire park, including the field. We're really excited about the benefits that this project has brought this part of the community, as well as the benefits that are tied to the water retention for the neighbors. At this point, I want to introduce Jennifer Resnick, Board President of the River Trails Park District.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Resnick, Board President of the River Trails Park District. The Park District's mission is to responsibly enrich the lives of our diverse community. We feel this park is a perfect example of commitment towards that mission. Not only has the village been able to improve the lives through water retention, the Park District has been able to give our community an amazing recreation resource for generations. This park has been a great success, not only within the neighborhood, but also the entire community. We appreciate the incredible partnership with the Village of Mount Prospect on this project. At this point, I'd like to introduce Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago Board President Carrie Steele.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carrie Steele, and I am your president at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, and I have with me my board mate, Commissioner Ada Corral Sepulveda. We are thrilled to be here today at Aspen Trails to cut the ribbon on the second of two important projects with the River Trails Park District and Village of Mount Prospect. We thank and congratulate the River Trails Park District and the Park District Board of Commissioners and staff and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for its contributions. And I applaud our engineering department for their hard work and commitment to this important project. This is an excellent example of intergovernmental collaborations and planning to make the most of our resources, to make the most of our park facilities, to make the most of our timing to accomplish multiple outcomes, and to lastly make the most of the surface area where we stand. Because we are not only making this park shiny and new, we are also protecting the larger community from flooding and detaining more water at a time when it's especially needed. The Aspen Trails improvements include 17 acre-foot underground stormwater detention vault beneath the existing park footprint, equipped to store more than 5.5 million gallons of water. Construction crews installed a new stormwater sewer under Aspen Drive and restored curbs, sidewalks, driveways, and parkways. As a result, this project will provide flood relief for approximately 100 structures, while also providing countless visitors a fun experience and new park facilities at Aspen Trails Park. We now have new turf, new trails, new fields, basketball and tennis courts, all designed to incorporate new stormwater elements and drain into the underground storage. Between Burning Bush Trails and Aspen Trails Park, the MWRD contributed more than $4.1 million to complete these critically important projects, including $2.8 million right here at Aspen Trails. And we are not done yet. I would like to mention 2 other local projects that we are currently working on in this area. We have designed and constructed stream bank stabilization improvements on McDonald Creek in the Woodland Trails Park in northeast Mount Prospect. We are also providing on construction through a partnership with the River Trails School District to provide green infrastructure improvements at the River Trails Middle School in Mount Prospect, which will be completed this year. So you see more playgrounds like this popping up around here. Between regional flood controls projects and local stormwater partnerships, the MWRD has developed a capital improvement plan resulting in more than 220 projects aimed at flood reduction and protecting over 17,000 structures. And like Mount Prospect, all of our projects are important to us. In addition to regional stormwater management, the MWRD's role to treat the region's wastewater and protect our waterways and water resources. Everything that funnels from your pipes in Mount Prospect comes to our Keary Water Reclamation Plant in Des Plaines. That is where we treat the wastewater, and the wastewater treatment process takes place before that water is returned to our environment safely to protect the water quality and our public health. And as rain continues to fall at intense rates, we have an increasing volume of water to manage at that water reclamation plant before it gets to our waterways. That is one reason why projects like this are so important. So today's event marks a new chapter of our collaboration and spirit in the fight to address flooding and protect our water environment. We thank Mount Prospect, the River Trails Park District, for responding to the call out for our green infrastructure projects, participating in our Stormwater Partnership Program we thank you for participating in our Stormwater Management Program and for maintaining a clean water environment a priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Steele. Appreciate everything MWRD can do for us. Now I want to introduce Mayor Paul Hofert.
Well, good morning, everybody. Probably wonder why I have this. Because when you need this in this neighborhood, it's so much better today than it was, right? Because when you need this, that water's not ending up in your basements. And what a great day it is, too. I was thinking, tongue in cheek, if it were raining, we could see how this works, right? And I know it works well. But as many of us know, the northeast section of Mount Prospect has been subject to frequent flooding following heavy storms for many, many years. Village streets and hundreds of homes in these neighborhoods would be inundated with water regularly. Specifically, the Levee 37 interior drainage area was one of the worst affected areas in the village during the 2013 storm event. That storm precipitated the immediate start of a feasibility study for these projects and an intergovernmental collaboration between the Village of Mount Prospect and the River Trails Park District. Long before 2013, some of you may recall the most severe flooding occurred in 1986 and 1987 throughout the village. When in this neighborhood we experienced severe flooding back to back in those years. Those that recall can remember Mayor Krause and Governor Thompson surveying the general area here in a canoe. After a huge effort during the Farley administration, Levee 37 was constructed to help the Des Plaines River from overflowing into our neighborhoods. That project, constructed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the IDNR at a cost of almost $35 million, was completed in 2010. While Levee 37 has certainly had a very positive impact, some flooding woes continued. So in 2015, the village hired the Christopher Burke engineering firm to investigate the causes of flooding in the areas tributary to the levee. When the river levels are elevated, we still had flooding in this area. Their findings were documented in the 2015 Levee 37 flood study. Christopher Burke Engineering observed that when the river level rose, the backwater valves on the storm sewer discharge pipes closed, isolating these neighborhoods from the stormwater sewers that would generally flow into the river. Since there were no detention ponds or relief sewers to temporarily hold those storm surges, the levee pumps were frequently overpowered by the rain events, resulting in backup flooding into the neighborhood. The 2015 Levee 37 flood study concluded that the pump station discharge capacity should be increased. It was also recommending that construction of detention ponds or larger storm sewer pipes would improve the stormwater storage and convey water to the pump stations more effectively. Shortly thereafter, River Trails Park District expressed an interest in developing projects that could coincide with these improvements at their nearby park facilities at Aspen Trails, where we are today, and at Burning Bush Trails Parks. On June 4th, 2019, the Village Board approved an intergovernmental agreement between the River Trails Park District and the Village of Mount Prospect, establishing a paradigm for developing stormwater management facilities at both of these parks. Our hope was to add over 30 acre-feet of stormwater storage to keep this area, these neighborhoods, dry during storm events. Burning Bush Park construction project began in the park in the fall of 2019. That construction was completed and the detention facility has been in service since the summer of 2020. The improvements here at Aspen Trails Park included construction of 17 acre-feet of underground stormwater detention beneath the footprint of this park. So you can't even see it, but it's out there, and it's serving this neighborhood. This facility differs from the Burning Bush facility because there it's an open excavation detention basin layout due to the higher inundation frequencies and close proximities to an adjacent school, public sidewalks, right-of-ways, and homes. Hydraulic analysis of the proposed improvements indicated that a basin would hold water frequently, much more frequently than Burning Bush Trails Park system. In addition, school and park district officials expressed concern about the steepness of the slope in close proximity to young children. Consequently, an underground vault system was selected as the safest and least obtrusive solution. So even though the park looks similar to the way it did before construction, it can now hold very large volumes of water during major storm events. This stormwater improvement project and park renovation was started and completed last year. These improvements cost about $6.7 million to construct. Much of this cost was defrayed by a generous $3.1 million grant from the MWRG-DC. As I conclude my comments, there's several people, and this is going to be hard with the wind coming up, There are several people that we would like to thank for making this project possible. First of all, I'd like to thank President Jennifer Rizek and the Park District Board of River Trails for being such a great partner in this and being collaborative with us. They teamed up with us and the MWRDGC to bring multiple benefits to a neighborhood with one project. My staff tells me it was a joy to work with the Executive Director, Brett Farnstrom, Superintendent of Parks, Mike Hanley, and Tom Pope, Superintendent of Parks Emeritus. I'd also like to thank President Carrie Steele and the MWRDGC Board for their incredible support of this project and for the Burning Bush Trails Park stormwater improvements. Needless to say, without their significant financial support, none of these projects could have moved forward. The district's engineering staff, including Dylan Cooney, Richard Fisher, and Joe Kratzer, were extremely helpful and enthusiastic about getting this project built. A special thanks also goes out to our consulting engineers, Christopher B. Burke, Engineering, Dr. Burke and his staff, including Eric Gill, Brian Luke, Bill Schultz, and Michael Burke, did an incredible job designing and constructing a highly innovative project. And finally, I'd like to say thanks to our contractor, H. Linden and Sons, who did a yeoman's job constructing this project on a very tight site and on a very tight schedule. One of their biggest challenges was to get this project started and completed while school was out of session. And guess what? They did it. As a representative of a grateful board and a grateful community, and certainly grateful neighborhoods in this area of town, I say thank you. You have helped to bring relief and improved quality of life to so many. For there is nothing worse than having stormwater in your home and damage to your belongings. I think we all know that. And so for that, I say thank you to all of you for what you've done to create this and Burning Bush Park improvements as well. The neighborhood is extremely grateful. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. I will close today's event with thank you to everyone who made this project possible. I know we've talked about everybody several times. Thank you all for coming out today and being part of this process. In case you didn't know, over just past the small playground, we do have a plaque memorializing the cooperative nature of the project. So at this point, we'll go ahead and close the event. Thank you very much.